I am Kike, and today I'm going to show you how serverbench works. So first of all, let's create a community. And inside this community, we can have as many servers as we want. So for example, let's create, I don't know, a server called Survival. And right from here, we can start hosting it already. So something very special about serverbench is that you can either use included serverbench hosting packages, or you can bring your own existing hosting. So in order to do that, you just register your machine. So let's do that real quick. You only need to run this command on your machine. So for example, this is a brand new VPS I just got. It doesn't have anything on it. So we just run this and it will automatically install Serverbench, and just like that, our server is installed. So let's go into actually hosting the server now. So um, something to note is that Serverbench is designed for very big communities. So for example, in this instance, we just created a server called Survival, right? Um, well, imagine you are Hypixel for a second, and you are going to set up the Skyblocks server, right? Um, so instead of having to come here and create Skyblock 1, Skyblock 2, Skyblock 3, etc., because there may be dozens or even hundreds of servers, what Serverbench does is it will automatically handle many instances under a server name. So that's just an example of how it is designed for big communities. But if you are a small community, you don't really need to take care of this or think about it. So we will just use the default instance and once again select the machine we want to host on, right? So if we wanted, we would be able to limit the amount of resources the server has, but this is fine by default, I guess. So let's keep going. Here you can pick the IP you want to use for that server, and here you can use a hosting preset. So you can really manage anything you want from the panel, um, literally like any Docker image. But in this case, we are just going to run Minecraft because it's fun, right? So you just pick Minecraft, and here you can set it up anything in specific if you want to do it. So this is fine for now. So okay, let's just host it, and just like that, our server is already being hosted. So in a second, this should start showing the logs of the server. So there you go. And just like that, we created a server on our machine from the server bench panel. So as you can see, it is very easy. Something that it does that is pretty cool too is that it will install well, the Docker image that manages all this runs an SSHD server on its side. So it will create a jailed safe environment to connect to your instance without actually modifying any of your existing SSHD um, config. So as you can see, it is running an instance on port 23, and we can just connect with SFTP to it. And we need to password first, of course. So let's copy that. And here we have all of the files that are on the server. So from here, we will be able to manage everything. As you can see, this is very handy if you want to see the server states remotely, so from your phone, or give access to your staff members when they need to restart, or many other things, right? Or you can even see the complete log history of the server. So it is very handy. Some other features of the panel are, well, for example, you can customize it extensively. So you can maybe set a color you want. So let's do, I don't know, green. And as you can see, it shows with a green tint now. And there is also, of course, dark mode. and we can even change the icon of the community. So as you can see, the logo now updated. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Some other stuff we can do is, for example, see the members that are joining the server. So let's actually join the server we just created, right? Actually, I don't remember the the server IP. Give me a sec. All right, this is it. So as you can see, we are already on the server. So um, yeah, that is very cool. For example, we can see the servers that are online. Sorry, the players that are online on the server right now. So we have here ourselves. We can see where we are playing from. So for example, I am from Spain, so it will show that I am playing from Spain, and we can see where we are playing. In this case, we are playing survival, right? So we, as I mentioned, we can have as many servers as we want here. We can even see the live history of the player count. In this case, we are on the compare view, so we can either see the classic view where we is just a line showing the amount of players, or we can see this. This is basically showing comparing to the previous period. So in this case, it will be comparing the previous 60 minutes to this 60 minutes, the difference in player count, right? So this is showing that the last hour there were zero players online, and now there is one, right? Of course, it's just a green bar now because there is no data, but if there will be more data, it will be very useful. I can show you that actually later. So yeah, that is something very cool. You can even see um, the chat history of the players right here. So oh, in this case, I don't know why it's not showing actually. I think maybe I did not enable it, but we can see that we are online and the length of the session. It even supports AFK sessions too, like it will mark them differently. We can also see the most active time of the player, so that way you can kind of see when that player usually plays. In this case, it's 7 p.m., so it shows I usually play it around that time, and you can see the history on the calendar too. And of course, how much we play each instance. So in this case, we are mostly playing survival, right? Um, all right. I guess I can show you how this looks on another of my communities. So I'm going to log out, and I'm going to show you how this looks on Pure Manila, which is a community I own. Um, so let's go into Pure Vanilla. So here we can see the amount of players that are online, the entire history, right? So just as I mentioned before, here, for example, it would mean that on this peak last week there were 130 players online, and this week there was 115, right? So this is why this view is very useful. And here you can compare with more detail the amount of idle players. So this yellow section here will show the amount of players that are FK, and this green section will show the amount of players that are online. And the line in the middle of both of these areas are the actual medians. So the actual amount of players you would expect to find online at that time, right? And of course, we can see many countries here. So something very cool. Let's try to go into a player profile um, that I know won't mind much showing. Yeah, for example, this one. So here we can see that this player plays mostly from about 7 p.m. to 7 or 6 a.m. in my time zone, right? And we can even see that by Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, so the different days, and of course the calendar activity, as I mentioned. We can also see the entire chat history, and we can even see some stuff that is not even actual chat, like item renaming, book writing. So the entire thing, right? Um, and you can see that this player is AFK for about 8 minutes now. And we can even filter for toxicity. So this is pretty cool. We can try to find some toxic messages here. I don't think this player is even toxic. I mean, uh, Breadhead, if that is even toxic. I mean, so I mean, this is pretty handy for moderators to see how toxic a player is, or if they're trying to find any reported messages, they can just come here and filter straight away for highly toxic messages, right? We can even see that there is an AI analysis flag here. So what this does is, well, in this case, there are no messages flagged here, but let's see if there is any profile where maybe there is a flag for that. I think this player is quite active on chat, so most likely some of the messages were flagged. So these are messages that the an AI thinks are interesting to take a look. So um, I will show you why this is pretty handy afterwards. So I mean, I'm going to show you right away. So if we go into the briefing section and we go into, I don't know, this one, for example, here we have a complete summary of what happened in your entire community that day. So what this will do is go through all the flagged messages, and it will make a summary out of it, right? It will even split it across instances and whatnot, right? So this is very cool. There is a public version you can share with your community, and there is a private version that is well, maybe shows more of the flaws of the server that you actually want to look into and improve. So this is a pretty handy feature. Something that is pretty cool too is that you can track where your players are coming from. So this will automatically detect from the IP they are joining if you have set up any voting site with that IP. So for example, here you can just register a voting site and you can set the voting road and whatnot. And in this case, the discriminator. So this is what helps the server determine where your players are coming from. So in this case, we can see that maybe, I don't know, 27 players joined from MC Like this day, right? So this is pretty cool. We also have referrals. So you can create your own referral program. So you can set a cut here. And what this will allow your players is with this referral program that you created, you can share them the link, and then they will get a unique join IP. And with that, you can make it so any new players joining from that player's IP and then buying something afterwards, that means the original referral will get, well, I don't know, in this case, the 10%, right? So that is pretty cool if you do create some collaborations with creators, or if you want to let everyone know about your community and want to start a public creator program, right? So that is pretty cool. Here we can see the amount of referred members and the amount of enrolled creators. Okay, and now into the monetization stuff. So this is pretty similar to Tevex in the sense of that you can create all of your packages and so on. But most of the features are free, unlike Tevex. So for example, you can have per country pricing. So here we can set which currencies each country uses, and then we can set up the prices for each package. So we just go into any given package. For example, you can see that here the prices are different. So you just go into any given package and you can just create the price here. As you can see, you can even have multiple prices for the same thing. So you can have a one-time buy for a package, and at the same time, you can also have a monthly recurrent payment. So that way, maybe you give the options to your players to either buy it one off or keep a subscription. So that is pretty cool. It does have support for tiered or upgradable categories too, which will allow your players to upgrade from package to package to by only paying the difference, right? Something very different compared to serverbench 2 is um, that in the way the packages are defined. So in this case, we can see we don't really have a description here. We don't really care about that. What we have is the list of perks and commands, and this is amazing. I will explain why. So basically, you can set up the perks for each package, and you can reuse the perks between the packages. So for example, here we are using and I think we were seeing this package here. So let's go into the next one. So here you can see that we are reusing the perks, right? And what this allows us is it allows us to automatically create comparison tables. So that's a huge amount of work that you automatically don't have to do thanks to this. It also lets you do some other cool stuff. So as you can see, some of the perks are numbered. You can set the amount of them. So you can compare, I don't know, one package has 5, the next one has 7, and you can see that the difference is 2, so you can show that on the comparison table, or you can even make it so the command takes into account the amount, right? So you could do maybe here amount difference, and it will maybe give that player the only the amount of money that they are missing package to package, right? That's just an example. So this is one thing, and here we also have the transaction list. So you can see both the completed transactions and the uncompleted transactions. So this is very important, but because here you can see the players that tried to buy something but did not finish their checkout. Here you can also manage the subscriptions, of course, and of course sales coupons and many other stuff. Okay, just finishing on. So this will be the referral section for the creators enrolled in your programs. So this will be the unique IP for them. Here you can manage your machines as I showed before, and here you can see the amount of money you have, and you can directly pay it out to PayPal. So I don't know, guys. This is serverbench. I think this is a very cool platform, and I think this will most likely be a lifesaver for future Minecraft community owners, or not necessarily Minecraft. Like as I showed, you can host anything here. Mostly anything that is related to social applications, right? So, anyways, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye bye.